welcome to play number 1 for Game Day 2026. The first part of this play is going to be doing your gauge swatch. So I want you to grab the 2 balls of long color changing yarn that you plan on using for your project, or if you are using a long color changing yarn and a solid color, that works as well. You just want to make sure that you're holding these 2 strands together so that you get a bulky weight. Our gauge for this project is 13 stitches over 4 inches. That's 3.25 stitches per inch. If you happen to get 14 stitches over 4 inches, which would make it a little bit smaller, that is okay. If you happen to get 12 stitches over 4 inches, that will make it a little bit bigger, and that is okay. Just make sure if you are working it up a little bit bigger that you do plan accordingly and have a little bit extra yarn just in case it requires more. For your gauge swatch, you want to use the needles and the yarn you plan on using for your project. I'm going to be using my double pointed needles, but if you want to use your circulars, you could do that as well. You want to use both strands of the yarn you plan on using, and we're going to hold those together and cast on 21 stitches. I like the long tail cast on, so that is what I did. For the right side, we are just going to knit. For the wrong side, we are going to do a ribbing of a purl 1, knit 1 ribbing. I happen to be on the right side at the moment, so I am going to go ahead and knit. All right, so you can cast on and then you could consider that your right side if you want. And you will just go ahead and knit across all 21 stitches. When you get to the end of the row, we're going to turn our work and work back, and we will do that in a purl 1, knit 1 ribbing, ending with 1 extra purl 1. Okay. This particular stitch pattern is called a broken rib. You're going to see it looks like we have basic ribbing happening, but it's separated out. Our little purl bumps are separated out, and that's because of that 1 row of knits. Turn my work. This is what would be the wrong side row. The wrong side row here, we would start with a purl 1, and then knit 1, purl 1, and then knit 1. Now remember, as we are working on this flat, I'm talking about right side and wrong side. If we were working in the round, instead of beginning with a purl 1, we would begin with a knit 1. Okay, basic knitting instructions there. It's just the opposite stitch of what you would be working on is what is on the other side of your project, just as a side note. But what I want you to do is work up a gauge swatch with 21 stitches, work 1 row of knit, turn your work so you're on the wrong side, work 1 row of purl 1, knit 1, and end with a purl 1, and then turn and then knit again. Okay, you're going to do this until your piece measures, a pretty good amount. Okay, I'm not super concerned about row gauge. I'm more concerned about your stitch gauge. So I want you to make sure that you have enough stitches to get a pretty good measurement here. And the benefit of using 21 stitches is that it is going to be longer than 4 inches, and we can just measure our actual swatch here and divide that by 21 to get how many stitches per inch you get. Now, I already know how many stitches per inch I get with this one. So I could take this off and let this rest off of my needles. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to kind of go like this. And remember, I told you I have 21 stitches. And when I take out my tape measure, I have 6 inches. So 21 stitches over 6 inches, that gives me 14 stitches over 4 inches. So if this is my gauge for my project, it would be a little bit smaller than what my actual gauge is on my finished project. So I just happen to know that when I was knitting on this little piece here, I'm obviously knitting a little bit tighter than I did on my actual piece, because the actual piece is 13 stitches over 4 inches. Okay, so make yourself a gauge swatch. You do not have to cut this. You do not have to keep this. Just do your gauge swatch so you know that you're using the right size needle. You can make sure that the yarn you're using looks great together, and you're good there. Okay, Once you have your gauge swatch complete, that is where you will begin where we're actually going to cast on. So let's go ahead and grab the yarn and your circular needles. And we are going to grab both strands of yarn, and using our long tail cast on, we'll cast on the number of stitches written in the pattern. This will be my third sample of this piece, and I am using two different colorways of Roll With It Melange. This color is called Autograph. This color here is called Hollywood. You can see the two colors, they sort of look like they go together because they have the purplies and the pinky bits to them, but they are not like completely matchy-matchy. When you are choosing your two colors to hold together, I really like to use long color changing yarn. This is going to give me a little bit of fit. I like to use long color changing yarn that is also like color changing within it. So you can see this has a lot of color changes within each of the strand itself. And I love to combine the two because you get a very unique and fun look to your piece. And this yarn is a size 4 weight yarn. So when I hold the two together and I knit with them, I get a pretty thick yarn. It's about the size of a bulky weight. Okay. That's why we're using a size 10 or a 6mm needle here for our project. And as we work through the whole project, we're going to hold these two strands together throughout. And doing the long tail cast on, you do want to make sure you have a tail that's long enough to accommodate the number of stitches. So go ahead and get that all figured out for yourself, and then create that slip knot. Put it directly onto your needle, and then you're going to cast on those stitches. And when we cast on these stitches, we will then put a marker in place to signify where our beginning is. For the long tail cast on, I have the working yarn over my finger and the tail over my thumb. So I put them just like so, and I kind of get a slingshot position. I hold on to my slip knot on my needle. I go to the base of my thumb, go up my thumb, swivel around to the tip of my finger, go down my finger. You'll see you have this opening right here at the thumb. You're going to take this needle and swing through the opening. You're not picking anything up. You're just swinging through that opening. Let the yarn fall off your thumb and give it a pull. Reset and do it again. Up your thumb, down your finger, through the window, off your thumb. Up your thumb, down your finger, through the window, off your thumb. Up your thumb, down your finger, through the window, off your thumb. Up your thumb, down the finger, through the window, off the thumb. And you will do this until you get the number of stitches that are written in the pattern. Once all of those are on your needle, you then will go ahead and you will jump into a knit one, purl one pattern. So this is another example I have right here. And you can see that I have all of my stitches cast on, and I immediately jumped into a knit one, purl one pattern. And this is what it looks like holding a solid color and a long color changing yarn together. You can see it's way more subtle than what those color changes are, but it still looks really cool. Okay. So this is what you will be doing for play number 1. You will cast on, and then we will work in our knit one, purl one ribbing. You'll actually begin with a purl one. Okay. So at the start of your row here, this is where I need a marker right here. Let me grab a new marker. Put my marker as the start of my row. And then I will purl 1 stitch. And then knit 1 stitch. Purl 1 stitch and knit 1 stitch. And I will do this all the way around for the distance written in the pattern or the number of rows written in the pattern, whichever one works for you. Okay. All right. So that's the end of play number 1. Have fun. Don't forget to be a part of the Marley's Minions Facebook group where you can ask questions, find the play number 1 knitting thread, and you can share your gauge swatch. You can show your example. And if you happen to have any other questions, you can ask them there. All right. Go ahead, finish play number 1. I'll see you in play number 2.